to the Elsewhere Podcast with Kat.
In perfect timing. There he is.
Sorry,
you
some
hear me
technical
now?
difficulty. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. And there's
Sure.
a chat over the side. Welcome, everybody. I decided to start because I'm like, well, okay, I'm just going to start. And there he is. That's what I needed.
I had to get it working through Chrome.
I needed an ultimatum, like, okay, this you have no more choice. Like, you have to make this work. Much love, everybody. I see y'all in here. I appreciate you guys being in here. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm Kat. This is my podcast. If you didn't know that, then, well, where have you been? And this is Ben. Ben is one of my great friends, and he is amazing, and you're going to get to know him and all the stuff that he does. And shout out to Jess, who is in here. She's been here for a minute. I'm scrolling up to see. Seven was in here first a while ago.
Oh, she said she was going to pop in.
She did. Casey's been around. I'm scrolling my mom. Hi, Mom.
Hello, Mama.
Papa Shoot is in here. Share the Air Force vet. She always pops in just to show some love. Appreciate you, sis. Oh, there's Truth. What's up, Truth? How you been?
Oh, hey.
Mom waves. I just picture her like with her hands waving, literally. And you've seen my mom on camera before when we've been talking.
Yep.
Always super nice to her, so appreciate that. There's Seven. She's back.
Hey, what's up, Seven?
No, I just, for even if you were wondering, I mean, you do so much for the community and the people that you mess with, right? I just felt like you deserved an opportunity to be in the spotlight for once. You deserved to have, kind of your story and how you started in with the beatboxing stuff and all the stuff that you've been a part of and what made you decide to do your own competition and all the things. But I want to get into all that as it goes. Unless we go off on the random tangents, which I'm sure we will.
Us? No.
No, but I really wanted to just start off by saying, I mean, I love you to pieces. We've been friends for a while now, and you've been nothing but kind and respectful and amazing and sweet, and you're always there for me if I ever need you, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, and I was hoping this would be an opportunity to get other people to have a chance to say that they appreciate you as well. So it is.
No, I love you to death, girl. You know that. I literally have you saved to my phone as Kat, the bestest girl in the whole wide world.
That's sweet. Because it's true. I mean, you can't lie.
Oh, I know, exactly. I can't lie to myself.
No, but we've been around for a minute. And yeah, you met Truth recently in person. I was supposed to be there, and that was still some crap.
Well, there will be next year.
No, there will be next year. And in between, because we got a lot of stuff going on in between.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, if y'all are planning on another Vegas trip, I'm saying your boy.
Annual, and we're going in April.
Oh, well, call me down then.
And by the way, I saw Bridget in here. She specifically took time off, switched her shift so she could be here.
No way. Thanks, Bridget.
She really, yes, she did. She really did. But
it's always a little different when you get to see, we recognize each other every time in chat. We always try to show up and support, I mean, everybody, you, Truth, Nick, I mean, Cliff, good Lord. I mean, Docs, where does it end? I mean, we really try to support everybody. So, my boy Jared, I get to see Pop all the time, Bridget, Jess, and you genuinely get excited when you see your people in the chat.
Exactly. It's like, there they are.
Right, exactly. It is like, and you go through and you type out everybody because you want to make sure, hey, I see you. Like, I always pop in and it's always, hey, fam. But then as I see everybody, it's hello to every individual person.
Yeah, I'm more like, hey, people. Because generally, if I tried to stop and say hi to everybody that I knew,
You would literally just be typing the entire time.
well, and then it just depends on the context. It depends on where I'm at. Because some places when the chat's going like crazy, if I acknowledge everybody, then everybody else tries to like, oh, she acknowledged them. I'm saying if I'm like in a mod status. And then they try
Oh,
to be like, well, hey, and I'm like, I don't know who hi. Like, I don't know who you are, but okay.
hey,
Papa
I'm
says he
still.
might have to go to Vegas. Hell yeah, come to Vegas.
Oh,
Vegas.
let's go, Papa. Yeah. Hey, has Papa got a deer yet?
We don't talk about that.
Oh,
I think the deer got him. No, I'm kidding. He spent like, what did he say? Like a full-time job up in the tree.
that's what. Hey, those back straps, they hit different, man.
What's up, Austin? Welcome in. Honestly, I want to know how in the hell. Okay, so anybody that doesn't know is probably not here, but you are neck deep in like beatbox, right?
I
Like,
try
did
to
you just
be.
wake up one day and be like, sneeze weird and thought, wow, that sounded like a beat, and then like Googled it and then just immersed yourself in the world? Like, how did it come to be?
So no, it's actually really funny. So
It wasn't a
I'll
sneeze.
tell you.
Okay. By the way, Seven, shout out. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you sincerely.
Hey, seven. So it's actually really, really funny. I actually have a super old story about beatboxing with me. All right. So the very first time I actually got to beat professional beatboxers, who here is old enough to remember Pride? Like back in the day, Pride, like proud to be against like drugs and alcohol and all that kind of stuff.
I knew Dare. I didn't know Pride.
Oh, wait. Maybe it was Dare.
I knew
It
Dare.
was. Yeah, it was Dare. So we went on a field trip to
Hmm.
Philadelphia. And while we were there, they actually had professional beatboxers there. And I'm like a little white nerd, and they're like, get up
Word.
here with yeah, oh yeah. I glowed up. So they're like, oh, get in here and do a little beat with us. And I did the most trash thing in the entire world. And literally everybody in my class laughed and clowned me. And that was I never even tried to do it again until 3 years ago when Cliff started reacting to beatbox videos. And I was like, I mean, shoot, these guys were way different and way better than the professionals I'd been as a child.
Right. It's a whole
And it
new.
was
It's
just,
a whole different thing. It's like a whole.
oh, it's music. It's a genre. Like it is a whole genre of music. No longer do they need to just be background noise in a song. They're making whole songs.
Absolutely.
You
What's up,
know.
So Ter? I never say your name right, so I'm gonna call you So.
Oh,
But no, and the one thing I want to point out is you said 3 years.
yeah.
So with the level of immersion that you have, running a competition, knowing all of these people, it's been less than 3 years. It's been 3 years. Patrick, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I saw you the other day, but I don't get to see you that often. We don't cross paths for some reason. It's good to see you though. Hope you're doing well. But it's been less than 3 years. So it's like my story where things have picked up pace and snowballed in a short period of time, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like you open a window and all of a sudden, you let the air in and you're like, oh, fresh air. Who'd have known? Who'd have thought?
No, I mean, exactly. And the one thing about the beatbox community, it's very much like, I won't say the whole YouTube community because not everybody is as loving and nice as what we deal with on the channels that we interact with.
Hi,
I mean,
Annette.
we do have a really solid YouTube family,
We
and
do. Our community is amazing.
it's small, but it's big. Like it's not, hundreds of thousands of people, but it's still bigger than what most people think that it is because you can go 3 months without seeing somebody. And as soon as they pop in a chat, you're like, where have you been? I haven't seen you forever.
Mm-hmm. No,
And we
absolutely. Of
do.
course, my heart will probably stop if I end up seeing Heidi anywhere. Like the moment I see Heidi, that's it. I'll be like, what? Good, done. Well, y'all, anybody who knows, if you know, you know. Okay. But no, you're absolutely correct. Like Patrick, I used to see him all the time. I probably have seen him like once in the last month and a half, So, and then the last time I saw him prior to that was just in passing, you know. And then there's some people that they consistently show up every single time, and there's people that show up when they can. People pop in and out, and I love every single one of them. It doesn't bother me one little bit. I would rather have 5 amazing people who show up when they can and they mean it from their hearts than 2,000 people who don't care. Like
Oh,
clicks
100%.
and likes are wonderful to get your message and your what you're wanting to say and who you're wanting to reach and like to spread the word about like different stuff like artists and beatboxes, boxers, all that stuff. However, when it comes to actual support, somebody that is going to send you a message and say, oh, I really like that, or oh, hey, I didn't like that, or hey, have you considered, like someone who's going to like just have a conversation with you, it means the world. What's up, Jared? I know you're not feeling great, hon. Hope you're
Hey,
feeling better.
Jared.
Yeah, exactly. Pop Sheet says we actually know each other and have a clue what is going on in each other's lives.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing, like, and especially the ride or dies, you notice when you don't see them for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you reach out on Instagram, you're like, hey, everything good? Haven't seen you. I mean, and not to bring up like super personal stuff, but like, when I told you when I was in the hospital, like I didn't reach out to everybody out there, but I knew that if I let you know what was going on, people wouldn't be worried like, where the hell's Ben?
Right. Well, I also know how to like cut people off at the pass. Like some stuff is personal and doesn't need to be put out there, but being able to have someone say, hey, I did hear from him. He's dealing with some stuff right now. People go, okay, cool. Someone's talked to him. We're good, which
Right.
keeps you from having to stress over that. Again, Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Oh, he's always lurking. Well, that's good. I have a stalker. I'm here for that. Please feel free. Stalk away. In fact, recruit a few more, to magically hit the like button without saying anything. I mean, I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. And especially if you're lurking because I get the watch time.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's like I met Seven through beatboxing.
Right. I
So like
for some reason I figured that.
yeah. So I mean, and that's the whole thing, and her and I chat, on a semi-regular basis, just hey, what shows you going to, what's coming up, all that kind of stuff. She couldn't make it to Bush this year and she was super bummed about it, but she
Me
still
too.
bought a ticket.
Oh,
She
I
bought a
didn't.
ticket and said, give it away to somebody that maybe can't afford a ticket to it. And we did.
That's
And it was
awesome. By the way, shout out Pappy D Reactions is in the house. Good to see you. I hope things are better. We were going to have a in-person podcast, but he had family stuff going on, and we have to reschedule that. So don't let me forget. No, but see, that kind of pay it forward. Like, hey, I can't be there, but I want to make sure somebody gets to go.
absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
that's amazing because a lot of people don't do that. They're just like people are like, and don't get me wrong, like I don't have the money to be like, but if there's something I can do, I try to. But
Yeah, I mean
I think
that's
it's
the thing.
awesome when people have the opportunity and they use it in that positive manner versus, they could have gone out to McDonald's, but instead they bought a ticket to something and gifted it to someone, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was supposed to go to the North Carolina champs that was hosted by Shield and Ghost, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it. But I prepaid for 3 rooms in the Airbnb, and I was like, just keep the money. Like, I just want to make sure you guys are good. The show goes smoothly. I just want to make sure, you know, you're not stressed about little stuff.
Right.
And because let's be totally honest, most of the beatboxers are my kids' age. Like, my oldest daughter is 24. A lot of the beatboxers kind of fall into that, 20 to 28 is kind of an old beatboxer. Like, that's somebody that's been around for a while that, has really showed themselves. Uh,
Why do you
so,
think that is?
well, I think it's a multitude of reasons. I think that, for one, that the genre somewhat disappeared for a while outside of the underground scene. You know,
Absolutely, I agree with that.
you you didn't really hear about, the what was maintaining beatbox outside of just the hip hop scene.
Right.
And people didn't realize, while the Americans were kind of going quiet on beatboxing, that Europe, who's always a little bit behind us on trends and behind us on style, they were just blowing up. And then all of a sudden you're having things like, Swiss Beatbox blow up, GBB, the World Championships, there's other old school guys that are doing stuff like that that
Is that a guinea
wasn't
pig?
getting the attention. Yes, my grandkids' guinea pigs are in the garage with me.
I always know the sound of a guinea pig.
Oh, they
I've
love
had them.
talking too.
Well, see, and that's cool because you're absolutely right. Beatboxing was a thing. I remember being a teenager and hanging out at the local teenage club at the smokers room for
Oh yeah.
18 and under because
Oh yeah.
that made sense. Sorry, mom. And people were sitting on the table, and it was like a cafeteria table, like a lunch table, and they were beatboxing and they were dropping bars. Like that's what they were doing. And
Yep.
you know, I didn't hear much except for there were a couple a cappella groups here and there. One of my favorite ones, for lack of a better way to put it, like Straight No Chaser is one of
Yep.
my favorite ones, but there wasn't very much in between. And then all of a sudden, you know,
Right.
it just kind of seems to come back. And the thing is, and the reason it's back and the reason that I'm seeing it, the reason everybody's seeing it right now, what's up, Straight White Male?
Hey.
Is people like you. Because what you're doing is that you're pushing it to these reaction channels. You're keeping it alive, and people are going, "Oh shit, that's badass."
Yeah.
Like you
Gotta
just
be
did. Well, who is it? MB four. I can't. I always get it wrong.
MB14.
Thank you, him. I was gonna say that, but then I was like, I'm gonna mess this up, so I decided to just like cut my losses and run. What was like on The Voice or America's or talent shows or something? People doing loop stations. I know Rachel does it, but that was still a little bit like, whoa. She doesn't beatbox, but she does loop stations. So,
Right.
it's just all the different variations of it. You get these reactors to react to this stuff, and people that are watching them are like,
Oh, absolutely.
something different because nobody, not saying nobody, but most people aren't just going to go, I'm bored. Let's go find let's do beatbox videos. Let's watch some of those. Like,
No, and that's the thing too. It's you
we
got to
do
remember,
now, but
so many of, especially the Napalms, the Vocodas, the MB14s, the Sorrows, all their stuff is on Spotify. But unless you go to that specific genre, you're not going to hear it. I mean, you you may luck out, and like if you like look up dubstep, you know, you might find, you know, a vocoder, you might find a King Inertia, uh, but you have to be so specific to find it. Where if you just put in hip hop, you're gonna get every style of rap that you could possibly think of, but no beatboxing.
Right. Well, see, I
And
didn't
that
know that beatboxers made songs.
right.
I had
I
no
mean, yeah,
idea.
well, that's the thing. They used to just be in the background, you know.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I mean, running into it with Cliff, and you know, kind of watching, you know, I think I maybe watched 4 or 5 videos of Cliff reacting to GBB before I just completely head dove into it with leaving him behind, and just, I mean, rabbit hole, just finding people, just checking out all their content, going to their channels, and, you know, really finding it. And then, you know, once I figured out Napalm was only 3.5 hours away from me in Pittsburgh, I reached out to him and said, "Hey, hit me up if you ever do a live show. I'd love to come support."
That's awesome.
And that's really where, I mean, Cliff introduced me, and then me reaching out to Napalm and saying, "Hey, bud, you know, let me know. I'll come meet you there." And he's like, "Really?"
It might be really interesting to say, and people might not understand this, but let me say this for those everybody in the back. Just ask.
Yeah, no,
You'd be
100%.
surprised how many people are willing to talk to you and to, by the way, shout out Seven. Thank you again. BenT, love, amazing meeting you. We know music is organic and ageless and to be supported, which I 100% agree. Amazing. Thank you for the super chat. No, you guys, you do not have to donate. You do not have to super chat. You do not have to send it through PayPal or anything. I know, and I don't know if I have any other mods in here, but the point is that it's not necessary, appreciated, but not necessary at all. What's up, Kaneki?
Hey, hey, Seven, I still owe you a drink.
But no, that's the thing is that it's a little bit surprising to me that Cliff got you in because you tend to have pushed and pushed a lot of these reaction requests to all these different reactors. By the
Correct.
time 2 + 2 together and realized that you were pushing like the beatboxing stuff, you know what I'm saying? You were already doing that around the
Yeah.
time, like that was about the time we met.
Well, so Cliff is a one man army, but at the
Mhm.
same time, we know how reaction videos have blown up so much over the years, and
Mhm.
everybody has like their own following. You know, Dwayne TV's one that I really, really push on beatboxing also, because when I jump in his chats, I barely recognize anybody outside of his chats. Like those are where I see those people are just in his chats for the most part.
Right.
So, and he knows when I jump in, I'm gonna be jumping ahead of everybody doing a beatbox request.
Gotcha.
uh, you know, I just, and I also try to find, you know, maybe channel like Knox. I got Knox to do beatboxing. I'm still trying to get that rascal down to Winchester again to come perform down here at a show.
No, he did say he was going to go to one of them, I remember. And then I think that kind of
Yeah,
just, you know what I
so
mean? Like, I think he was going to go to one, wasn't he? The first one?
Cliff was supposed to go to the first one, and I tried to reach out to Knox ahead of time of the first one, and we just didn't connect on time.
Gotcha. Yeah, that happens.
Yes, and then with this past one, everything was just super crazy. I mean, you know, we were coordinating, you know, judges from Chile to Japan to the UK. And then, you know, obviously we had 2 from the United States. We had Bloomer and King Inertia. But I mean, you know, we had Stitch coming from Malaysia. Like, who flies in from Malaysia to come compete in Winchester, Virginia?
I mean, if you could, I would.
I mean, it was just
I mean,
wild.
really. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, how did it go from? How did it go from Cliff doing reactions and it being about beatboxing, and you being like, "Man, Napalm, if you're gonna perform, I want to see you live." To, "Hey, feeling cute. I'm gonna host a competition myself."
So the way that
Yes,
it
Tree,
really
you're the only one that pulls up ever,
started.
ever. I didn't show
So
up to Vegas or anything.
Truth talking that trash.
Don't get me started on him because I will turn this into that. I have no problem with that because he has been giving me hell recently. He's
Well, hey,
really been
remember?
going in. I'm gonna like
Well,
just.
Truth and I were together when we gave you out the shout out video for your birthday.
I remember. I saw it, which was awesome and amazing. And then I got copyrighted on that damn stream, and so they took it down. I gotta do something about that, or at least clip
Oh,
that part out.
oh, that's right, Ed. You got Krista Lee's.
Don't even start on that whole thing because you know. But no, seriously, how did you jump from?
So it was actually, I don't know. So okay, so I met. So Napalm hits me up. He's performing at a hookah bar, and I'm like, all right, bet. So it was actually my brother's son-in-law's bachelor party weekend, and I was like, well, I don't care what you guys do, but I'm going to Pittsburgh to go to a show. And they're like, that sounds like a perfect bachelor trip, right? So here you got me, my brother, my son-in-law, and his soon-to-be son-in-law jump in the car and head to Pittsburgh for a show. Get up there, Napalm killed it. It's completely wild. You know, bars BYOB. So we're just getting tanked up, going across the street, just bringing in 12 packs of beer. And Napalm's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to host a beatbox workshop if you're interested in learning. And I'm going to be doing it with Villain and Vocoda.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, all right, bet. So I go back up to Pittsburgh, go to the beatbox workshop. I was actually not the oldest person there. I am very proud of that fact. But the gentleman that was a little older than me had definitely been beatboxing for a very long time. And
I was like, either
yeah,
he was an OG or he was there by accident. It was probably one of the two.
yeah, he was an OG. And I'm like, just looking around like, oh, I'm like literally the only new beatboxer here, except for like a 7-year-old. There was one kid that was like 7 years
Was
old
it
that his
good
mom
though?
was he good?
7-year-old.
Oh, he was way better than me. I'm really good at trash beatboxing.
I'm really good at horrible singing. I can butcher a song like. No, I'm completely serious. It's an actual talent that I have, or I
Oh,
can like turn it like evil operatic, where I guess it's operatic or me just butchering it. Like you can just take your pick. It could be either or both. You know, I'm the queen at that. Like I'm really, really good at it. It's a talent.
yeah. So we go through the workshop. We decide to go out to eat afterwards, and you know, just kind of talk with Napalm a little bit. He's like, yeah, you know, we're going to be doing a show up in New York with the Beatbox House because obviously Napalm is part of the Beatbox House, which is based out of New York. You know,
Right.
it's Napalm, Kenny Urban, Gene Shinizake, Amit, and then Chris Elise. So I go up to that show, just kicking it up there. And, you know, Napalm's like just utterly surprised. Like, hey, I drive to Pittsburgh multiple times. Now I'm driving up into Brooklyn. You know, I brought my youngest daughter and my nephew with me. They had an absolute blast. So we're just kind of talking afterwards, and he's like, man, he was like, I really appreciate you coming up there because I will say this: the beatbox community, they're a solid community, and they are super appreciative of the support that you give to them. And he's like, I really appreciate you coming up here. And I was like, yeah, man, anything I could do to show support. I
Right.
was like, I wish we had stuff like this in my area because there's literally, for being an hour and a half outside of DC, there's still nothing like it. And he said, well, why don't we do a show in your area? And I
Well,
said,
duh.
well,
I mean,
I said, I actually sell beer to, oh, in case you guys didn't know, I'm a professional beer sales rep. That's what I do for a living. You know, I deal with all bars and restaurants and music venues. So that kind of went hand in hand on putting the Bush beatbox battle together. Uh, so I said, I could get us a connect with a venue, no problem. And he said, all right, well, I'm serious. Let's actually do it. I was like, well, I'm very serious as well. Let's do it. Thus, the first, which it was funny. So we come up with this idea with no name whatsoever. We didn't come up
right.
for that till a couple of phone calls down the. And he said, Winchester, Virginia is like super country, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, and you sell for Anheuser-Busch. And I was like, yeah. He was like, I mean, Bush. It just kind of goes like Bush beatbox battle. And I was like, that so works for my area. You have no idea.
Like I just picture somebody flexing every time you say Bush. Like
I mean,
like a grunt.
Bush. So yeah. Very fortunately, I kind of get into beatboxing and just randomly make friends with one of the top beatboxers in the entire world. Yeah, no flex there. Good luck, Napalm GBB. 2023 is your year, baby. But so he reaches out to some of his friends. I take care of, so my side is more of like the business aspect of it. So, I was dealing with the venue, working
Right.
on, some sponsorships, making sure, everything was good. Everything that I could do on my end was covered. And then he, lined up, some very, very dope people to be judges, which is, so we had part of the beatbox house as judges for the first one.
Right.
A bit was one of the judges, and then Gene Shinizake was another judge. We were very fortunate to get Hershey to come and judge, and she's just such a fantastic beatboxer, rapper, DJ. Just she's a jack of all trades.
And she's fun too.
She freaking awesome. So she comes in from let's see, Hershey came from Chicago, if I'm not pretty sure Chicago. And then Vokoda, who I met at the workshop, he lives down in Richmond. So he was also the current world online champion. So he was one of the judges. And, Napalm and I were kind of talking back and forth a little bit. And, it'd be really cool to have like a really dope international judge. Like, to solidify, a real event.
See you later, Pappy D. Appreciate you. Yeah, hit me up anytime.
He reached out to Alexinho, who is, a former world champion.
Mm-hmm.
And just such an awesome, down to earth guy. So, but he lives in France. So we reach out to him. He agrees. He's actually super excited. And that's how we put our first judge panel together. And people in the beatbox community aren't really used. So in my job, I'm used to catering to people. I'm used to taking care of my accounts. I'm used to what do you need?
Right.
Like, how can I take care of you? which is not what beatboxers are used to. You know, we look at them as superstars, but inside of most beatbox events and things like that, which is changing, which I'm very happy to see, uh, they're just not catered to. So these guys show up for Bush, and I'm on my A game. You know, Airbnb's locked down, plenty of food, plenty of beer. Like these guys needed nothing. Like everything was already thought out ahead of time, taken care of for them, the whole nine.
So you're going to run the Vegas trip, right?
Sure.
Get everything on lock. No, that's awesome because, yeah, I mean, in all honesty, they seem to be kind of self-sufficient. They kind of do for themselves.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I'm saying it seems like I get that vibe.
No, it really is like that. I mean, and I've been to a multitude of shows now, and I will say I have definitely seen a progression in the shows on, you know, making sure more things are taken care of. But not to flex, but you're never going to hit my level of knowing how to cater to people. Like,
again, Ben, you are invited to Vegas.
I mean, that's true.
That's a given right there. Like that's gonna happen. We will talk because I tend to plan everything, sort of.
Well, we could collab.
I mean, like look at the competitions. I do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes. I get it, except mine's online, and I don't have to like physically make sure that people can drink something. That's their own damn problem. Basically, all they gotta do is show up and look pretty. And that's a lot, you know. By the way, Mom, I see your question, and I'm going to ask him once he gets done because that's a good question.
I mean, so there was the first Bush, and you know, another big thing with us was, you know, we made sure there was good prize money. So
yeah, that's a problem. That's for me. That's one of my biggest things, is because I can't get a pot big enough to pull without people putting into it. If that makes sense.
Oh no, absolutely.
That's the only way I have one, and I certainly can't cover that, and I don't have sponsors, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but if you can get a sponsor that's going to get you to make it worthwhile. I mean, that it gives you like a higher level of people, because honestly, if you're at a higher level with what you do, you know, you have to hold your value to who you are.
Like, absolutely.
If you've got 3 people who know who you are, but if you've got a channel like, you know, knocks at 1 million, you know, his value is higher. It just is. It is what it is. It's a fact. Like you can't get around that. You know, Truth has got a higher value with his content than I do. And, you know, but we don't do the same thing. But you know what I'm saying? You know, because
I totally know what you mean.
The audience and everything, and to be able to get the level of people that you want, you know, you could do a mid or a low level, like to a point. But to bring in the people that are going to make it worthwhile for the other people to show up, you got to have something, you know, got to have a carrot somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, that was a big part for us. So first and foremost, we made sure there was good prize money to be won. Like, you know, you're not walking away a millionaire or anything, but for a beatbox show, and especially the first one, you walked away with like a decent prize money. The second thing was the judges.
How much? I want to know how much.
So the way that we did it was we did 5, 3, 2 for first, second, third. So 500, you know, 300, 200. And then, you know, we compensated the judges very well.
Good.
And we took care of the Airbnb, food for the weekend, drinks for the weekend.
Don't be giving my judges any ideas here.
You know, I made sure, you know, everybody could get back and forth to the venue. And like I said, you know, so I didn't realize how different my event was compared to other events until I really started going to other events and going behind the scenes with people.
Yeah.
And then I realized why people knew who I was And they're like, "You're the Bush guy.
Ooh.
So can I judge one of your events?"
You're like the creme de la creme.
So they just know you're going to be taken care of. Like they know you're going to have a good time. It's going to be very community driven. It's going to be drama free. What more could you ask for?
No, exactly. What's up, Dorinda? Welcome in. My mom wanted to know, by the way, how long do you think you'll continue to run your competitions? Like, is it basically your intention is to do one every year?
Yes.
Dot at this point.
So yes. So Bush will continue on forever, hopefully. And I literally do mean forever. Like, I hope that it happens if I'm no longer involved or if I can't be involved in it. Because it has created such a very cool little community in itself. Like, I know who's going to show up. Like, our very first Bush, we had over 40 people that did open eliminations to try to get in.
That's awesome.
That is a lot.
That is a lot. I was going to say that's awesome. Like, I'm scraping trying to get people. Don't even have to show up. They don't even have to come to the venue. Like, they can just like submit. It's like cheap as hell. And I'm like, come on, people.
Yeah, and I mean that's a big thing also is, during the Rona, beatboxers started flourishing very much online. You couldn't go out, you couldn't do gigs, you couldn't run battles, you couldn't go and, do open mic and stuff like that. So Discord channels, things like that became a huge thing. You don't have to show up for a beatbox event. You can do everything online.
True.
But you win so much more, and the experience is so much more. The interaction, the being with people, getting outside of your shell, just learning how to interact with the real world.
Which unfortunately is not easy for people because people were coming of age and becoming adults and without social skills.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't know how to talk to somebody face to face. Like, it's like literally I could just picture somebody looking at me in the face and looking down at their phone and texting me. I'm like, I'm right here. But no, here's something I was going to bring up that I thought about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. To me, it seems like at this point in time, I know that beatbox internationally it's blowing up, and I know it's a huge thing. I get it. However, for something like your competition, right? The smart thing about showing up in person, if let's say you are a beatboxer or a part of the community, is the fact that you still have these big names showing up in person. It's still a small enough venue that you can rub elbows, right? So it's stupid to not go, to me. If you're somebody who wants to be a part of that community or part of that process or compete in any way, why wouldn't you go?
Well,
because it's called networking, people. I'm just saying.
Correct.
Instagram's not the only way to do that.
Well, another big thing is also with my event, I don't care if you started beatboxing a week ago or you have 20 international titles. Everybody's on the same level at my event. There's no VIP. Like, you get VIP treatment no matter who you are.
I get that, yeah.
And you also get VIP access no matter who you are. So if we do an after party, you're invited. You get to talk to the judges, the winners, the whole nine. There's no separation there's no cliques.
Right.
There's no, oh, you're the new guys, you go over there. We're the pros, we're going to go this way. No, everybody hangs out with everybody. I mean,
well, at some point, don't you think that might change? I'm not saying it will. I'm saying devil's advocate. Devil's advocate, because let's just say it becomes somehow it becomes a TV show all of a sudden that hits huge viral popularity. And now each of these shows is no longer a couple hundred people. It's now thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Do you see what I'm saying? Where it gets.
So I know what you're saying, but with
I'm just playing
Bush,
devil's advocate. I understand what you're saying, though.
but I personally will never let Bush get over 1,000 people.
That's a good way to circumvent that, yeah?
So no matter, I hate to say it, like no matter if people want to come, it'll be the first 1,000 tickets sold, and
So
that'll
you
be the
can keep
cutoff.
that level of intimacy. That's what you want, right?
Correct.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. So that makes sense.
I don't want it to be. First of all, I don't want to. I mean, security is not an issue, but at the same time, I don't want to feel like I have to have big beefy guys all over the place.
Well,
Um,
excuse me, but
except for you, darling.
I am more likely to buy a couple extra tickets if, you want to,
But I
like,
mean, like,
show me
I
your
don't want,
security team ahead of time. I mean,
because I
just
think for
saying.
the most part, beatboxers, it is such a tight knit community. But at the same time, you need to open it up to people outside of the community to grow it.
Of course.
But you also don't want parasites also coming in. Like, you don't want people that want to feed off the community. Like me
Right.
personally, I make no money off Bush. None.
I get
I have
that.
no problem. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I spend a lot of money on Bush, but I don't make any money, which I am good with because it's not about me. I'm in the background, I'm trying to help out. And I'm also trying to, help these young guys get out there.
Of course. Look, of all people in the entire world to understand that concept, I'm the one. Like, what I do is not at the level of what you do. I don't have a venue. It's not like in person and like it's a whole production type thing. But every single thing that I do comes out of my pocket.
Yes.
The only exception being the pot for my competitions, which is coming up in November. Shout out. Woo, woo. Anyway, but that's the only thing because people put in if you want a pot of money, okay, somebody's got to pay for it. I can't. One time I did actually enhance the pot, and I regretted that because I was like, well, I shouldn't have done that. No, I mean, no offense to anybody, but I was like, okay, I took a hit on that one because I don't generally get anything back, and that's
Correct.
okay because I'm here. It's not about me; it's about the people. I want people to see people. I want people to get to know how things work and the people behind the scenes and how all this stuff, I want people to get their shout outs and their opportunity to find a couple more supporters who maybe like, for example, artists, maybe this one time someone fucks with them as much as I do, right? And maybe next time that they're on someone's reaction channel, they pay for the reaction.
Right.
Win-win, everybody.
Exactly.
The artist gets exposure, the reactor gets content, someone else puts the bill. Like, you can't get any better than that for me. I'm just saying,
absolutely.
it's just trying to get attention and eyeballs on people and just show how amazing people are. That's why you're here. Because what you do is amazing is you bridge some of that gap, at least in the community that I'm in.
So
you're that guy. You come in the chat, we know who you are.
Hey, you go in anybody's chat, they know who you are.
That is not true. I don't know who I am. So
hey. But so I do everything with Bush. Everything with Bush goes through Napalm and I. So we work very closely together. We're planning next year's Bush already. We're already
Houston,
talking about. Do what?
Is there a Bush in Houston? Just saying.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But I'm also working with Vocoder. So I'm now a part of Beatbox Arena with Vocoder. Right. So we will be doing traveling shows. We will be doing a multitude of different things. Right. So we are laying out exactly how we are going to be try to take more steps forward for the community as a whole also. Outside of just a 1-year event in person. So we're going to start with, local meetups. We're going to start with online battles. We're going to start with just holding beatbox shows.
I'll be out there in a minute. What? No, go. Cheers, kids outside. She had to tell me.
Well, tell her I said hi.
They said hi, Bailey. Sorry about that. I mean, I was like, and she kept like, but that's family life. That's what happens. But no,
it is.
I was going to ask you a question about some of that. Like, I know that you guys are going to, push on, online, push on in person, push all over the place, right? I get that. Do you think it's more beneficial to have a show that goes to different venues? Let's say somebody's on tour. Like, hey, we're on tour as a group of people that do beatboxing versus yearly competitions, or a mixture of both. Do you think that like a standing venue, we come back here every single year, every single time, does more for the community? Or do you think that something like all the champions or people, and whoever makes sense, we're going to show up and we're going to put on a show?
Both. And so this is my opinion on it. So it is both, because with beatboxing, while the show aspect is fantastic, the battle nature of beatboxing makes a lot of sense to have a yearly, you're going to show up and I want to be the next Bush champion, because that is an accolade that you get to take with you. Last weekend I was just in New York for Long Island Beatbox. Jack Nasty runs that. He held the New York championship. Fantastic event. Jack and Ghost killed it. They did a fantastic job. 0 complaints whatsoever. They killed it. They did an awesome, awesome job. Great judge panel. Beatbox Education was there. Like, it was a really, really good show. And it was right up in Queens. I like to
shout out Kushti, who I know it's some semblance of the middle of the night for, who was determined to make it today. So shout out to you for making it. We had a conversation about this. Appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I don't know why everybody's here for me, but I'll take it.
Dude, we love you. Like, honestly, I know that Cliff was gaming, and I had popped in there. I was like, guess who I'm talking to? He's like, Ben, he's like, Ben, truth's in the chat, like, the whole time. Knox just did like a ridiculously long live stream today. Otherwise, and he doesn't show up in other people's stuff, but
no,
I'm sure his thoughts are with you.
I popped into Knox's earlier while he was doing the Brave 2 review.
I know. When I got an opportunity, I jumped in there as well. It just, you're a friendly, genuine, fun person that everybody just enjoys your company. When you're in the chat, when you're in the Discord, wherever you may be, I've had the privilege of being on the phone with you, or texting or DMs or whatever. And you always make me smile. Plus my mom likes you. Like,
hey, I love your mama.
My mom is amazing. She really is. But
your mom is absolutely amazing. Like 100%.
Well, she has to be. I mean,
I'm telling you. And one thing, so me, I'm not a bashful person. Like, at all.
Here's my mom.
one thing about beatboxers is a lot of them are a little bit of introverts when it comes to going outside of the community. So
That's what
like
we do. That's what we're here for. Like we'll like
that's
hold their hand, like, come on, let's go.
that's
Come on,
exactly it.
come with me. Come on, no. You don't know them, they don't know you. Cool. Let's go.
So it's a good bridge, especially, dude, as a beer and wine sales rep, I like the beatboxers are absolutely amazed, like, walking down the Old Town Mall in Winchester because they're like, are you like the mayor here? Why does everybody know who you are?
You're
I'm
the
like, well,
booze man.
I'm the beer guy, so everybody knows who I am.
Yeah, it's a booze guy. Everybody knows
So,
the booze guy.
yeah, when you've been doing it for 20 years, I'm like, some of you guys are barely 20 years old. So I've been doing this your
Some of you are
entire
the
life.
product of me selling the booze.
Correct. You may have
You're
been
welcome.
conceived off of one of my products.
You just put a beatbox soundtrack on and you just did full circle. I love the fact that every time you say Bush, I laugh. I can't help myself.
Well, there's got to be emphasis behind it. Oosh.
Okay, I picture. Have you ever seen the GIF? I know that people in my server have seen it. The one where the dude like pulls it down and is like,
Yes.
okay. Every time you say Bush, I'm like,
Oosh.
every time. So when you see me like every time, that's why I'm picturing. If you know,
Well,
you know, and if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe somebody will post it in my Discord and you can find it there.
well, and so like the big thing is like, so where does beatboxing go from here, right? Uh, I
Thank you, Mom.
personally
That's what I'm talking about.
do I?
My mom nailed it.
Oh,
She said it reminds me of the scene in American Pie.
oh, oh,
No, but where does beatbox go from here? So at this point, we've got, let me just speak from like a community standpoint, right? Or my personal
yep.
knowledge. Okay, so I know who some of the movers and shakers are. I just bit my cheek. I respect the genre, right? I respect the people that are behind the scenes. I love the battles and seeing people come up and be successful, and I like seeing it grow, and I like seeing the likes grow and the interest grow and the reactions grow. I love seeing all that. I love the fact that there are venues they can go to consistently for their competitions and stuff. I hope that they go on like a tour where people can kind of get a taste of what they do, and then maybe next time, instead of just happen to catch them in passing, maybe they'll go to an event, right?
Correct.
So at this point, and I can't speak internationally because like my ass don't go to France or Switzerland. Like,
I mean, they tried to talk me to go to Japan this
you
year.
should have just for funsies.
Yeah,
And then I
I
would have
should have.
specifically made elsewhere stickers for the podcast. I would have printed some, like custom made, and have you slap them around places if you didn't get caught and like put in prison in a foreign country. Other than,
Yeah, let's not do that.
only friends.
But I mean, so I think the genre is going to grow significantly in the next 5, 6 years, as long as beatboxers, I mean, I hate to say it like this, as long as they start making some money.
Right.
Because if you talk to young beatboxers, usually their biggest complaint is there's nobody in the beatbox scene, which is what everybody thinks. There's nobody in the beatbox scene, so there's no point, trying to make it a professional career. That's completely untrue. I know multitudes of professional beatboxers. That's what they do for a living. That's all they do for a living is they beatbox.
Right.
Whether it be at concerts for opening acts, whether it be you know, a couple of guys that I know, Match and Bass Ventura, they just did a whole cruise circuit where they were out on a cruise ship, and that's what they did. 4 months
Right.
was they had, 4 shows a day, and that's what they did. I actually got to speak to both of them. They were both up in New York this weekend, and they were kind of telling me about the experience. So there are ways, but there needs to be more ways. And one of the biggest things is you're going to have to, A, you're going to have to make content. B, you're going to have to be consistent. I mean, it's kind of like with any genre out there. Like, if you really want it to grow, you have to be consistent with whatever you do.
Right.
Whether, if you want to be a Twitch, YouTube, whatever streamer, you have to be consistent.
Correct.
And you have to be serious about it.
That's a big
Like,
one. It has to.
Not everybody is going to be.
I mean, there's certain things. I mean, I've told my children, especially like the ones that are now adults, when they were younger, oh, mom, I want to be a singer. You're not going to be a singer. You don't live and breathe it. I want to dance. You don't live and breathe it. And here's the thing. You have to. There are certain professions that you have to live and breathe. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, people that really want to do music, and however that comes, will jump in however they can because they just absolutely love it. They live and breathe it. And people that don't, if that's not how you feel, then I don't think that people should try to make a long or bitch about not making a living with it if they don't live and breathe what they do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like, I learned how to do it, and in passing, it's cool, but I'd make more money doing this. Well, then please go do that, because the people that this is what they want to do, that's not going to stop them. And those are the people I want to watch.
But those are also the people that you need to uplift. And those are the people that you need to, like, really get behind. Like,
well, you're a lot nicer than I am.
Well,
I'm talking about the people that are like, well, there ain't no money in it, bye. And I'm like, see, that's me. I'm like,
but I try to, I mean, I've seen it in multiple chats and the whole nine, there's no money in it, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I have been in beatboxers live streams where they've made, $100 in 3 hours. I've also been in beatboxers. I mean, I've also been in live streams where they've made a couple $1,000 in a couple hours. The idea is, if you really care about it, you support it where you can.
Right.
That doesn't mean you got to send them $100, $200. But man, if you got an extra $5, like, dude, support your boy.
I get that.
You know what I mean? Like, huh?
No, I completely get that. I really do. I'm all about the, I support them. I want to help people, like, whether it be an artist or, obviously my niche is, my reactor friends and stuff. I had to stop that because I know too many of them. And, I'm going to go broke supporting people. Like, legit, I'm like, I can't support your Patreon and, like, request stuff. Like, I've done my part. Like, I've encouraged other people to do it now. Somebody else take this torch. I'm like standing here like, I'm too old for this shit.
Hey, you see me in plenty of chats, me.
I know.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And that's why I'm like, look, like I said, you're nicer than me. Like, you're like, well, these certain people need to lift up. I'm literally that person who's like, look, if you're not trying to hustle and find a way to make it work, and you're like, I'm not talking about people who are like, I really want this to work. I'm doing everything I can. I just can't seem to find how people are making money doing this. That's different than what I'm saying. We're like,
oh yeah.
I don't make money, so Well, okay, those are the people I'm like, don't let the door hit you.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
So,
I would encourage the people
so
who are looking for avenues to make money so that they can make it a full-time thing. That's a totally different vibe than someone who's just like, well, I'm going to do something different because it makes more money. Because then to me, that's not
so
you've got to have passion for it.
but that's also where when I've seen people in chat say there's nobody in beatboxing, I will literally say, when was the last time you donated to a beatboxer?
True.
Like, don't be a hypocrite. Like,
Right.
don't jump into people's lives and watch them perform, but then have zero support because you don't get support.
Yeah. I
Like,
completely agree.
there's a domino effect. You know, I've been in streams where I've donated multitude times to get it going.
I've done the same before.
You know, it's and the donations start. You know, it's a good place. Like I feel like if you are creating content that I am absorbing and I'm consuming, I feel like I owe it to you as a content creator to do something to support you.
I can see
Because
that. I can understand that.
once that support stops, people stop. If there's no point in doing it, then everybody stops.
True.
And then you just have trash ass creators that they may have some fanboy fangirl out there that just throws money their way and they keep going. But the good ones stop because it's just not there for them.
No, I get that.
They just
I
never
got to
found.
the point where I almost stopped because I'm like, I don't know how I can sustain this. I don't with my
Yeah.
taking the time that it takes me to do this, away from my kid, away from, I just got off work. I have appointments, I have laundry to do, I have things to do. I'm a single mom. Like, how do I make this make sense? And I'm like, because I love it that much. It makes sense to me to make
No.
it work. And that's the thing. And that's, by the way, Seven, thank you again. Honestly, you do not have to donate. I swear to you. It's not necessary, but thank you for that. BenT is the man. Yes, he absolutely is. He's shiny too. But no.
Hey, I shaved it up for you today.
Appreciate that. I did mine too, but it grew back. Sorry. But no, I get what you're saying completely, because I've been at the point myself, and that's the main way that I things make sense when I can relate to them, and that's something I relate to a lot. I even told like my mods and stuff, don't post links for donations and stuff. I don't want it. I don't want that to be a focus and stuff, because I'm not doing this full time, right?
Yeah. Okay.
No. Hear me out.
Put one up.
It's in the
Put your
description down
Streamlabs
there.
up.
It's down there in the
All
description,
right.
so people can, if they want to,
Well,
they
I
can
can't
find
see
it.
it.
If they
I
want
can't
to.
see it right now.
What I'm saying though is that I understand what you're saying, because, for example, you've got people like Tulip Mafia, Knox Hill. They do content full time.
Yep.
Okay, I know they do, because I mean, Knox is very open about that when he ended up quitting and going full time. I've had conversations on this podcast with Tulip Mafia that he is full time.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
Dude, I love Tulip.
Me too.
I love Tulip.
Well, what I'm saying is that, I understand, like, and they give you an opportunity. I'll use Tulip as an example. He says, look, I'm putting my stuff behind a paywall because this is how I pay my bills, right? Because you're not in content creation at that level without wanting to generate some kind of, I'm not monetized. So to me, it's like, whatever. But once you start getting monetized and you start getting, it matters. It does matter whether you can do it full time at the level that you're doing it. And he's like, I'm going to put it behind a $2 paywall. And people are like, oh my God, how could you? It's $2 damn, man. $2. If 30 people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like logistically, if like 100 people out of 300 or 500,000 people, if 5% of those people went and jumped on that paywall, you pay your bills that month. Easy. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the
Absolutely.
point, is it's like, if you can help support, you know, on the flip side, I don't believe that, you know, I don't know how to put that. Like, I can't donate money right now with what's going on in my life. So I donate my time. It's the most precious thing to me. So I put my time into it, you know. I put my connections into it, you know. I'm about to go on hiatus so that I can work on this competition. So I can put my all into that. So that every artist that's on there, you know. And I just feel like every single person that supports, that goes to each of these streams and gives their time, and if they can, their money, because some people just can't, but if they can, but don't go in there and then say that and not be supportive, and then say, well, you know, nobody supports. Well, you know, be the change you want to see, right?
That's, you just nailed it right there.
I'm just
don't say, be the example.
right.
Be the example. Say, you know what? You say that, I say there is. And I actually back up the words that I say, because I will step back, and I'm going to tell you right now, there have been times that I'm like, damn, I ain't got it this week. Well, okay, hold on. If I spend this much this day, okay, I can request 2 songs. There have been times like that.
I've done that.
Like, there are times like that. And there have been times at the end of the week, and you're like, damn, I shouldn't have requested that song.
That's kind of
But
where
you
I'm
know
at
what?
most of the time. It's like, but I haven't done that in a while. I'm really proud of myself. What's up, Ray? Welcome in, Vibe Reactions. Yes, sir.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, but you know what? I supported a homie. Like, at the end of the day, I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to feel good on why I'm figuring it out.
I think people don't realize how good it feels to be able to support people. And it's not for the shout out. It's not for the attention.
No,
It really isn't.
no.
I know. And I mean, I know that is, some people do it out for that, and, you know, good for them. If that's what, you know, makes them happy and gets them off, then yay for them. But for me, it's not that. It's like, you got to participate. You got to be a part. You got to help, you know, share something amazing that's going to be good content for them, and it's going to be cool to watch for you, and everybody's going to like it, and everything's going to be happy, and people are happy, and everybody's happy. You know, it's a happy thing. You know.
Well, at the end of the day, you know this as much as anybody else. Like, because you are mods for some pretty freaking dope people, young lady. Not to name drop or anything, but
I don't have enough time to drop all the names. That would take. I don't think we have enough time.
but you are mod for some very, very large channels.
I've been very, very
And
lucky and blessed, and with people giving me their trust. So it's a big deal to me. I hold it very close to my heart.
no, absolutely. And the funny part is, like, I'm only a mod of 2 channels.
Mm-hmm.
One, obviously, is the homie Vokoda. Like, and it's funny because I didn't ask to be a mod of either which one.
Oh,
like, I was in chat. And all of a sudden, the next chat that I sent,
it's called,
I was like,
flyby modding. That's what that's called.
I was like, how did that happen? So Vokoda and Decoy, those are the 2 channels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very fortunate. I got to see Decoy last weekend. I wish he would have competed, but it is what it is. Decoy actually finished He was third place at Bush, second place at Bush. Third. Yeah. The first Bush decoy was third place. It was King Inertia, match, decoy. So I just love seeing the people like when I went to New York, I actually got to see a multitude of people that actually were in Bush.
That's cool though, I mean, honestly.
And this is 6 hours away from Winchester.
Yeah, but you drive like all the time, so that ain't no thing.
No. This was actually the first time that I rode with somebody else.
Oh, I wish I could go to. I'm going to see Atlas on the 21st. I'm excited for that, but I wish that I traveled more. And then the second I actually get to the point where I'm about to travel more, I'm like, nah, I'm good, and I stay home. I'm a hermit, and I love that about myself. I'm totally cool with it. Vegas once a year. I'm not the. I'm gonna go to your house, come visit you for 4 days, and take a vacation. That ain't it. That ain't me. So I live vicariously through people. So when you tell me about, oh, I went to New York and I see the pictures of y'all together, I absolutely love that for you. I don't want that necessarily. Maybe someday I will, but right now, I'm not in the place in my life where I want to not have my own bed and my own remote control. Just saying. That's also why I'm single.
Well, I've been married for 25 years, so
no, well,
I can slide out of the house.
She's like, please.
Oh yeah. So my wife tells me all the time, unless you're gone for more than 3 days, I don't miss you. That's the magic number.
That's hilarious, to be honest.
If I'm gone for 2 days, she's like, one more day and I would have missed you.
I just think it's great. I mean, I think it's amazing you've been married. I mean, was she your high school sweetheart?
She was.
That's what I thought. I told somebody that earlier today, and I was like, that was me making sure that I was fact checking myself.
So I was 15, getting ready to turn 16, and she was 14 when we started dating. And we broke up for 1 year, her senior year, and then outside of that, we have been together.
Oh, well, that's amazing, though. You've raised an amazing family, and then now you've started this whole. My brain just stopped. Did you see that? That was blank. This whole thing, where now you're doing something that, like I said, I'm doing it too. So this whole new world that you're involved in and you're interacting with and then you're part of, it's a whole thing. See, it's a thing. See, I was right. And we're both doing the same, in different ways. We're both doing that. I just turned 40. I'm starting with a brand new thing within less than 3 years that I've been doing it. Oh, drinks up. Live's over, y'all. Drinks done.
Oh no. My youngest daughter just came in here, so she's refilling.
Oh, nice. I can't stay for too much longer because I got to make dinner for that one.
Oh no.
She just yelled at me. She's like, I heard that. I got to make her some dinner. And then I got to pay my bills, because.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Yeah, it really is. Well, it's payday, so that means bill day, which means I had an hour and a half of having my bank account looking fat and fresh. And now I need to put it on a diet.
Okay, so I don't even know who's in chat anymore. If anybody's in chat.
12 people.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm not that interesting, people.
You really are.
So the funny part is we might have to do another one, and I can actually give you backstory of some things that will really crack you up on how
Good.
I got so extroverted.
Good. Well, sign me up.
Partying
We'll do another one.
partying with Vanilla Ice, and yeah, working for this tattoo studio, traveling the country.
See, so I lived a boring life up till now, and you've lived a cool life up till now, and you want to rub that in my face, and you want me to schedule it on my podcast. Cool. I got you. I'm here
Absolutely.
for living vicariously through your experiences. Mine are all traumatic, so we just need to like skip those, and I need to pretend like I was there with you. Because screaming children and weird people showing up in your house in the middle of the night that you don't know, police, fun stuff, moving a lot.
I mean,
Those aren't fun
technically,
stories.
that's happened to me too.
Well, yeah, but you like did it with Vanilla Ice. Like that's different. That hits different when you can say, but after I lost my house in 2007, I hung out. I went to the homeless shelter and I was with Rob Van Winkle. We threw down, He laid down a metal track and I like hit him over the head with a chair. It was good times I had all around.
That's so funny because he actually was doing metal at the time when I hung out with him.
Because I don't know anything about music, right? Anybody think that I don't know what I'm talking about? Sure, feel free. And if you notice my lighting's going weird, which is making my face look wonky. I'm gonna hide.
Well, my face always looks wonky, so.
Well, the sun's going down. The sun is like, I'm going to bed.
I don't want to go to bed.
No, but I mean, we can definitely cut it off here. Is that Bailey?
My unbrushed hair child. They can't see you.
I know.
Well, come here.
Fine. Look, my hair's brushed. It looks brushed.
Does not look brushed.
What are you doing, girl?
She's not brushing her hair. That's what she's not doing.
Don't feel bad. I didn't brush my hair today
You
either.
said he didn't brush his hair either.
Oh. Mom, can you remember? You know how I use it about
Bailey?
What?
Go take a shower. Bye.
Or the children.
Yeah, but I mean, if anybody has any questions, I mean, hey, just hit me up. Like, definitely no biggie.
No, absolutely. And people that are watching later, because I know a lot of people, I'm really proud of this fact. I know a lot of people watch after the fact. I know that. And it's kind of, it's really cool because like they'll listen while they're vacuuming or something, which I think is great. Like they can leave a comment and I'll pass those on, or they can jump into Discord and they can talk in there because you're in there as well, or they can just hit you
Absolutely.
up. They can hit you up on Instagram, which is like what, BenT_BBX.
Correct. Yep.
That's right. Papa Shoots like I can't.
Well, you have me on. I'm like you have me on all of my Instagrams. So.
I do. I get so confused. I like don't know which one I'm supposed to be talking to or tagging, so I just like do them all. And we flip flop. Like we'll be talking on one, and then I'll be sending you reels on the other, and then you'll respond to the reel. So I'll move the conversation over there, but then you'll respond to me on the other one, and I'm like, "What just happened?"
I will say it is definitely a juggling act, tattooed wine guy, BenT BBX, Bush beatbox battle.
I do not message you on Bush beatbox battle because that's enough. 2 is enough. Someone just invited me to a party. Apparently my Steam has come back up again after shutting it down multiple times. And they want me to go to a party. So yay for me.
Hey,
I don't play any games where I can go to a party, but okay. Like I don't play games. I don't do gaming, so I don't know why they're inviting me, but okay. My mom says, "Nice seeing you, Ben. Thanks for sharing your life with us."
Oh,
I told you my mom is the best.
Hey, wait till I get to meet your mom. She's gonna fall in love.
The only one that she's met so far is Truth. She met Truth.
I better look at the truth. It's all right.
Y'all are too much.
We'll see. We'll see if Truth is still in here because he'll definitely have a comment on that.
Now he tends to fade out because he's like a little punk and he goes to bed at like 7 o'clock. He says it's because he gets up and goes to the gym. Whatever. I think it's because he's a pussy and he needs to sleep.
I mean,
and by the way, screw all of y'all with your foot thing. Stop. That's not even true, and it's not fair, and you can't bring that over here. Like, that's not allowed. That's like a spoon. I should make that in my rules. The foot thing is not a thing.
I remember the foot thing.
It's in every single time. Every time, Ben. Every single time. I think it's to the point where people believe it, and that's not fair. No, it's not, Casey. Shut up.
Only feet.
I'm going to snatch the mustache off Truth's face next time I see him. He thinks I'm playing around. I'm not playing. I'm literally going to, snatch the shit out of it. And if I snag his nose, rip that off, then fine. Whatever. I hate feet. You don't understand. I hate feet. I hate them. So it's almost like twice as bad that everybody's giving me crap for it. It's not fair.
And the funniest part is, I'm so indifferent when it comes to feet. I mean, I had the ugliest feet in the entire world. I was a track runner and a swimmer. They some ugly ass feet. I'll be the first one to have them bunions out of the pool. Like, hey, check them piggies out.
No. Everyone should just wear socks all the time. I'd be cool. I don't. It's not okay. Look, do you see the sun going down? Look, I'm I'm in the dark. I look like Elvira now.
Well, I'm in Virginia. You've literally only had my garage light this entire time on my head.
Well, I mean, I have a ring light and I could open up the drapes and I have an overhead light, but I don't want to.
Now we match.
What's really fun for me is even right then, everybody knew what I was talking about because we're all interlaced, right? We all hang out together and know each other and we see each other around all the time. And
yes,
I cannot tell you how excited I was in the dark. What has happened?
Wait.
In the dark now. Look at me. But
I'm not one of your authors. Hold on. Don't tell me about getting excited in the dark. I'm not one of your authors that you have on here. Young lady.
I literally cannot with you right now. But no, I'm on.
Wait, you're in the dark, and I actually got you to blush, and I can actually see it.
I blush easy, I really do. But no, I really wanted to have an opportunity to come on and talk with you because I think that we all know what you do, right? And the people that matter in your world and my world, so we all know what you do, and we all appreciate you for it. But you deserve your time in the spotlight. You deserve to be center stage. And I don't know. I'm really proud to have the opportunity to talk to you and to put you up on that pedestal and tell everybody, this is my friend and I freaking love him and he's amazing and you should see all the shit he does. It's cool.
No, and I really appreciate it because, a lot of times, behind the scenes does go kind of unsung. I mean, I've unfortunately witnessed behind the scenes people want to be the spotlight.
Yeah.
Which is why I'd really focus on trying to remain behind the scenes because it's kind of cringe when the person in the background tries to make it their story.
But this is your story.
No, it is. I'll tell you about this one later.
Oh wait.
I'll tell you about this one later. But it just when you see somebody that's supposed to be there lifting up people, but they're the ones standing in the front.
But that's not it, and that's not what you've never done that, and everybody knows that. So
No,
Who keeps
like
inviting
I'm
me
the
to a party?
biggest,
I don't
like,
have Xbox people.
yeah, I'm the biggest one. Like, wait, you want to talk to me? Wait, I am not that interesting.
No, but that's the thing, is it's like, as a friend, as somebody who was involved in this, I don't even need you to tell me about the ins and outs and the personalities of everyone you're around. I'm more curious about you and, well, how'd you get into it? And, like, it hits different, And I understand that there are people like, sure, okay? I could try and say, hey, I'd love to get napalm on. Sure, I would. But that doesn't take away or replace, I still wanted you first and foremost.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get napalm on with me also
That
because
wasn't what I was trying to
that
say.
I know, but that will just be funny all by itself. I will tell you that right now.
I was just saying, you deserve the spotlight. I think so. Everybody that's here agrees with me. So you don't get to say anymore. I've taken that away. You can't say anything else. And you're not standing on top of people to get in the spotlight, which is what I know you're referring to. You're referring to
Correct.
the people that are in the spotlight because they're standing on the person below them in order to reach the light.
Correct.
Instead of being the person underneath them, helping, lifting them up, you're saying that they're the ones step. I understand what you're saying. However, that's not you. So, like I said, that's gone. You can't say that anymore.
No, I mean that's really, at the end of the day, I'm 45 years old. I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. And if I could leave behind a legacy of just being the best background person in the entire world, that would be freaking fire.
Well, I can tell you that you made an impact on me and everybody that I run into. Everybody knows who you are. We all think the same thing. We all feel the same way. For what that's worth, you've already left a lifelong impression on all of us. We love you and we appreciate you. And I wanted the opportunity to put you in that spotlight. You didn't ask for it. In fact, the second I asked you about it, you're like, well, sure, I can get people on. That's not what I asked. And I had to tell you, I was like, I want you. That's what I'm asking for. I want you. I didn't want everybody else. I want you specifically. And that's why I locked you in as fast as I could, because I knew you'd back out of it if I didn't.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah. And look, see, I'm speaking the truth because look, there is a beam of light. Do you see it?
I do.
Now, y'all can't see this, but I think you can, Ben. If you look to the side,
I
can you
can't
see?
see it.
Can you see my hand
I
over
can't.
here? They can't see that. This is the truth. And it's
That
shining.
literally looks like the Ark of the Covenant in the first Indiana Jones.
I'm
Like,
literally going to take a picture of it so that I can post it in the Discord and show everybody what I'm talking about, because I know it makes no sense right now. But it will make sense when y'all see this. Hold on.
it literally does look like the Ark of the Covenant.
I think you can see it. Yeah. Okay. I'll post that later. But this
And
shining.
I know Seven's still in here.
Yes.
And thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that.
And like I said, and welcome, Wallflower. I did not see you sneak in here. I appreciate you, and I know everybody else does too. And I'm glad you can come on here, and I'm happy to schedule again with you. And we can do all the fun stories and stuff. But I wanted this to kind of be about like what started, and just giving you some kudos, and just having a casual conversation. The second time around, that's when we get weird. If you haven't figured out when you watch the OG podcast. By the way, there's another OG podcast coming down the pike with the OGs. If you guys know who that group is, it's fun.
So, yeah, remember, I've been in a lot of weird podcasts of yours. I try to make them more weird.
Well, you're very, very good at it. And I think that I contribute a little bit to the weirdness. I try.
Hell yeah. Wait, I just realized I've actually been really good about not cussing this entire time.
I know, right? My mom was in here too, and I tried not to, but I did a couple times. But I know you haven't been like nobody's hair caught on fire. It was great.
Holy moly!
On that note, we gotta go before he ends up getting me shut down on YouTube. I'm kidding. No, but I'm gonna cut this
No,
off in a
thank
few
you.
minutes because it's been about, we've been on here. I don't know if you knew that, but we've been on here for like an hour and 40 minutes at this point.
So I'll be honest with you. So I was very, very nervous about coming on here with you, just because I try to stay out of the spotlight.
Aw.
And I made a decision today that I was going to treat this like just when I talk to you.
Well, I'm the same way. I talk on the phone the same way that I am on the podcast. Like, I'm no different.
No, exactly. But that's what I was like, all right, I'm just going to look at this like we're doing an Instagram live. Like we're just doing an Instagram video chat. That's all we're doing.
That's kind of what it is, though, except for the Instagram part. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's the intention for every podcast I do is normal conversations with not so normal people. So if I can normalize it to where it's just us chatting and cutting up and having a good time, that's the goal. If it takes a couple of, I feel like a therapist. If it takes a couple of sessions to get there, then we'll get there. But the first one is usually, just the basics, and then some people want to continue on and I bring them back. And now, apparently, with the sun setting, I'm turning red. I went from blue, and now I'm like bright red. With my truth is gone, apparently, though. I'm sad. Look, I'm talking about the beam, sunshine beam is gone.
No, I see the lost ark is gone.
But I have it on a picture. Oh, that's probably why it left, because I took a picture of it. So it's like, fuck you then. Oh, anyway. Kushti's like, I'm gonna go back to the start when the stream ends. The nap I had is to make sure I was here, ran over a bit. No big deal. I appreciate. And look, I'm gonna specifically shout out Kushti, and I'm gonna specifically shout out Bridget for adjusting your schedule to make sure that you were here today. That is above and beyond and means the world. Like, that is really awesome of you. To make sure not only you took the time to be here because you could be doing anything else in the entire world, but to actually adjust your schedule so that you could show the support that Ben deserves. I completely am here for that, and I think it's amazing. And shout out to you, and thank you for doing that.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for showing up. Like, I'm honestly a little flabbergasted. Like, honestly a little flabbergasted.
Well, you deserve it. And even if you don't do it often, every once in a while, people deserve to let people show love, and the only way they know how. This is how I do it. So
no, and I can't say how much I appreciate it enough for even recognizing that I try to do things in the background, and you saying no, you need a little love too.
Well, I mean, I'm human, and I do a lot of stuff in the background as well. So, of anybody in the world, like I told you, if anybody in the world, I get it. Most of the things I do are in the background. Everything you see in front, this ain't shit. If you see me, that ain't no thing. No, I'm so serious. Like, if you see my name, I'm like chilling. I'm here chilling. I'm in the chat chilling. I'm on my Discord chilling. I'm in a voice chat chilling. I'm in the Instagram DMs chilling. Right? It's when you don't see me, I'm running around like an idiot, like a chicken with my head cut off. Like, with my lists, I have lists. My to-do lists. I have 7 of them right here. This one I can throw away because I actually finished all this. And now I'm going to do the competition stuff. So I'm just saying, when it comes to being behind the scenes, I get it. It's not easy, but you deserve the kudos. So just stop saying you don't and take it.
Well, see, that's the funny part. Professionally, like selling beer, I'm the rock star.
Yeah.
Like,
shout out
when
for
I
beer
say
sales. Let's go.
Like, I am the guy that trying to lead the pack on numbers. Everybody knows the whole nine. And beatboxing is kind of where I but it is a lot of work. A lot of work.
But you
It's a lot of money. And I love it so much. And I love the community so much. And that's the biggest thing is these young guys out there need an old cat like me to say, hey, you're talented. I don't want to exploit your talent. I want your talent to shine.
Yes.
Period. That's all I want. I want you to shine because you deserve it.
Papa Shoot, that's a good comment. I'm glad you did, Ben. I get to know you a little more, and the more I like.
Thanks, Papa. You're a bow hunter. I already loved you.
No, I mean, honestly, I just wanted to say I love you. I appreciate you. I know that the people that you support appreciate you. I know that the beatbox community appreciates you. I know that your family does as well. I know that the reactors, the community members, people that run into you, the people you sell booze to, the people that you make smile on a daily basis all appreciate you. And it doesn't go unnoticed. I just want you to know that. You didn't ask for it. You're not looking for any kudos. You're not looking for a pat on the back. You're not looking for anything. But that's why you deserve it more than most. So take that for what it's worth. I'm making you take it. You're going to shut up and take it.
Well, slap my ass. All right.
Where's your mouth? Just take it. Just take it. See, there's Jeff. We love Ben. See, I do have to get off here in a second. I actually also have to start my new medication that I started today. I'm like freaking out. I actually, just as before I do go anywhere, there's one more on Saturday that I have scheduled, and I have nothing scheduled, and nothing will be scheduled until the competition. I'm on hiatus. I am taking care of some stuff that I need to take care of, and I'm not going to be scheduling anybody that I'm aware of unless something weird comes out of the blue. But the competition is next. By the way, Ben, fun fact, you've heard it here. I got a beat for the competition already. I do.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is it the one I'm thinking of?
I just got it last night. I got it from a producer, a very well-known producer who I asked, and they said, okay. And I got it. So I'm stoked. Nobody's heard it except for me. Well, and them, because they've made it. So that's going to be cool. And it's going to be a challenge. People are going to have to step up their game. I mean, it's that simple. So that's cool for the competition. So I'm one step closer. And this Saturday, I'm Jared Potter, who, if anybody knows who Jared Potter is. Anybody? Just curious. Somebody know who Jared?
This guy.
Jared Potter.
This guy does.
He's on Saturday. And so I'm going to dive into what he does for a living, which is not just hog related. That is a job that he does. That is not everything he does. And so we're going to dive into how he does the magic that he does with, he's a videographer as well as well as special effects, as he does commercials. He does all kinds of stuff. So we're going to dive into that, peel back the curtain a little bit, peek under the skirt of the magic and see how all that works on Saturday.
Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for that.
You know me. Remember the studio that Jeff Hedback? That one was one of my favorite ones ever, when we were talking about the studio and how the sound, how it all works. And when yeah, that was one of my favorites. And I'm hoping this one's going to be along those lines. So I'm really excited. Super excited. But yeah.
Yeah, because remember, I was way into that conversation.
Me too. I'm all about the behind the scenes and under the skirt and, all that stuff,
Yeah, I love under the skirt.
You and me both, in different ways, but, Thank you, everybody who's here, who's watching in the future, and who is thinking about listening later, because I know you're thinking about it. You better do it. And now that you're listening to this, you did it. So yay for you. Appreciate you. Drop a comment, drop a like, go follow Ben. Stalk him, because it's fun. We all need a clean, good, happy stalker. Like, we don't need psycho stalkers, but happy stalkers we're here for. And if you know any happy stalkers who are looking for a new victim, I'm around. They can stalk my channels and like everything that I do. I'm here for yes men as well. If you know any of them, please send them my way also so they can agree with everything that I say every time. I'll take it, you know. Ben, do you have anything?
Yeah, thanks for. No, as I say, thank you very much again. Yeah, if you're looking for me, it's BenT. Most of y'all know that, but
I will send it to you, Papa. Not a problem. I will post it. How about that? How about this? I'll make it really easy on anybody who's on Instagram. Look, I'm in the dark now. You can't see me at all. Anybody who's on Instagram, I'm going to post a story. I'm going to post the links to his profiles, which they're actually already in my story right now. But I'm going to specifically do it so they can find you. And yeah, then you can just check my story and then it'll be right there. And if
thank you, Kat.
If you missed my story, then just DM me and I'll send it to you there. I love you, Ben. I hope you have a good night. I hope everybody here has a good night. I'm going to go get some dinner put together and pay my bills. And then I'm going to
love you too, Kat. Thank you.
Then I'll be a little wuss and go to bed myself. So.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You guys have a good night. I will talk to you guys on Saturday or in Discord. Don't be a stranger. Bye.
Love you, Kat.
Love you back. Mwah.